Okay, my paper Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. You're dough.
And we're rolling, Gregory.
Greg Saunders.
Wow. Hey, great.
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome, 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 welcome to the Stateline Show.
And a ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas to you. It was the night before Christmas. We'll tell you all about it coming up. I'm Greg. He's Tom. It is the 24th day of December, 2022. The latest it has ever been
in the history of mankind.
And you made it. Congratulations. Look at you, man. You've blown us away with the festivities. That's awesome.
I got the tree. I've got Snoopy and Woodstock.
Snoopy and Woodstock doing their thing. Hey, woohoo! That's how you dance at Christmas at the Tom Warner house.
That's right. Everybody used to laugh at me for all my teddy bears. And because I embrace it so well, they do too. Even my wife, she's like, I think secretly, she can probably hear me too. I think secretly she wishes they'd all just like walk away out the door because I got them loaded all over the house. I know there's something wrong with me. I know.
It's going to be a big sale at your house on the day after you're departing.
Oh, jeez. You know, yeah, that's funny because I've said that many times.
Well, it's okay, Tom. That's you live your life. You enjoy your life, and she's enjoying your life. It's a good thing. I've told you before about my grandmother's obsession and collection with salt and pepper shakers.
Oh, jeez. You probably did, yeah.
Thousands of pairs, not hundreds, not dozens, not hundreds, thousands of pairs of salt and pepper shakers that filled these shelves in her front porch. It was not a screened-in room. It was a Three Seasons room, but it wasn't heated and stuff. The front porch of their house, Grandpa had built many shelves so she could store and display all these salt and pepper shakers, and there were thousands of them. And when Grandma passed, it was okay. If you want any of these, take them. Otherwise, they're all going to go away.
Yeah, you know, one person's collection isn't necessarily another's. So
no. If there ever was a salt and pepper museum, she had it.
Wow, that's just hilarious.
And it went away. So, we have. Let's see. We do have a big number of the week this week. So why don't we bring up that before we get too far and I start talking about things and I forget that we've got one. Come on, big number. All right, big number of the week this week is 36,000. I know that's not that impressive, but it's a big number nonetheless. 36,000 is our big number of the week. And this week's answer is movies or metal detectors. Movies or metal detectors. And we're starting a brand new game this second to last show of the year. We have one more show before the year's out. Next Saturday's New Year's Eve. And we'll be here. So our last race to 10 ended with a dramatic Joann comeback. All the way back from like 7-2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was something disgusting. I pulled a 1969 Cubs.
Well,
I sent you a text.
It made for a very interesting end of our year here. So it was.
I sent you a text. Don't read it out loud.
Okay. All right. We are
Did
going
you
to
get
read
it?
out loud. Not
What's
yet.
that?
But we are going to read out loud here momentarily what we've done every year now, the last couple years. And
Yes.
it was the night before Christmas. All right. I got it, Tom. I got it.
Okay. Boy, I'm covered.
All right. Before we get to that stuff, Merry Christmas, Linda. Thanks for joining us here today. If anyone joins us live every week, it's almost always Linda. Good to see you.
And every once in a while, Dan. I talked to Dan last night, and I'm hoping he joins us. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. That's okay.
I admit there was a time when I was a little bit disappointed at how few people watch the show live. However, we had a good contingency of people that catch us recorded and watch later. So follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. Our Facebook following is doing very well. I'm just very happy with how many people follow us on Facebook every week. And whether they watch the show every week or not, they're getting information about what's going on around Rockford. And
So you know what's funny about that? I'm not on Facebook. I don't like Facebook. I don't want any part of it. And I'm not, this isn't a statement. I couldn't care less. If you're on Facebook, God bless you. If you like it, God bless you. That's fine. But I'm not on Facebook for a number of reasons. I just don't like it. I think there's a lot of drama and, too many arguments, too many senseless arguments. So I'm not on it, but yet I'm on it every week.
You're there every week, and this week you are a part of our profile picture right there on the Saturday
Right.
page. This is probably from, let's see. This is
Well,
probably
there's a dog involved.
Yeah. This might have been from like 4 years ago.
Wow. Where would that have been? Oh, at the station.
It's at the
There.
station.
Yeah, of course. And who would have taken that, I wonder? Probably Alex.
Little,
No, Alex wouldn't have taken it.
little fun selfie. It's a good selfie.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
So,
I still have that sweatshirt too. I
ah,
was gonna wear that today, but I opted for this. Yeah,
I love that coat, man. That's awesome.
I know. Some guy at trivia the other night, he's like, "Dude, what do you want for that coat?" I'm like, I didn't even answer him. I figured he was just jacking with me. He goes, "No, seriously, I'd like to buy that coat. What do you want for it?" Well, what am I going to say? $100, $50, $20? It's not for sale. Now, if he wanted to give me $1,000 for it, hey, why not?
It's funny. My
But-
dad and I had that conversation driving back from the Packer game on Monday because numerous times he's had people stop at his place. He's got an old Ford pickup truck. It's one of the small ones.
Uh-huh.
An F-150. It's the smaller. What is it called? Is it Ranger? I forget.
Probably Ranger, yeah.
It's a small one, and it's a nice basic little pickup truck. And when he'll be out either shoveling or raking or whatever, doing yard work type of stuff, and someone will pop up and say, "Hey, I'd like to buy your truck. Is it how much do you want for it?" He's like, "It's not for sale. I don't care to sell it. I like my truck." Oh no, really? Name your price. And he goes, and he told the guy, he's like, "Well, all right, 10,000." And the guy laughed at him and left. And he's like I said, it's not for sale. I don't care if you want to talk me out of it.
Rule of thumb, if there's not a for sale sign on it, it's probably not for sale. It's like somebody walking up and going, "Hey, I want to buy your house. What do you want for it?" Well, it's my house.
I've heard stories. People have done that before. It's sometimes it's just the power of suggestion and the right money and terms and everything. So,
Well, everything is for sale. That is, yeah. Even a person's loyalty can be for sale.
careful,
You
right?
know,
Right.
I mean, it just, I don't know.
So anytime anyone stops by now, he just tells them, "I'll make you laugh or offend you by telling you how much I want for it. So just name a number. I'll tell you if yes or no, and we can move on with our day." I'll give you $1,000 for. No, I'm not selling it. It's just enjoy. Have a nice day.
Aren't there enough Ford Rangers out there? I mean, what's so special about it? Is it green and yellow with a big G on the side?
He's obviously kept it up really well. He's probably had it for 20 years. I'm guessing he's had it for at least 20 years now, maybe a little bit more. For a very short time, it was his primary vehicle, but it hasn't been for a long time. And he won't take it out in the snow. He won't take it out in the ice and the salt and stuff. He's treating it like a vintage vehicle, which it is. It's an antique. It's it's over 20 years old. So a car over 20 years old is considered vintage, right? So it's
Right. Yeah.
he could get the plates if he wanted to. But that was a fun conversation. Speaking of which, Packers game. I think I talked about it briefly last week about taking my dad for his birthday to see Monday Night Football, Lambeau Field, Packers Rams, and I was surprised he said yes, because our conversations in the last few years have all been, bad weather stuff. No, I have no interest in going to see a live sporting event anymore. And, I like the comfort of my own home and my TV and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to somebody, and whoever it was, who was I talking to? Maybe it was you. It's a lot cheaper to watch it at home. You get all the different camera views. You get the fonts. You get the warmth. Oh, my buddy Andy, when I was watching football with him the other day, he's a Bear fan, and he said he's gone to many, many Bear games. He doesn't anymore because it's cold, unless you go in September and it's 78 degrees, 82 degrees, whatever. But then it might be too warm. But anyway, and he's right. I don't really have a desire to go to a game now. I would have gone to that Packer game, despite the fact that it was 10 degrees, 12 degrees.
It was yeah. At one point, it was 13 degrees, and it might have been a little bit colder than that when we left. But it was like 15 at kickoff. It was 13 at like halftime. It was cold. There was one point during the second quarter when a breeze kind of kicked in, and you felt that ouch on your face, and I was like, oh no, please don't get windy on us, because that will really make things miserable.
Oh yeah.
And then it stopped. So it was calm, and people were the Packers led from start to finish. They had an opening drive field goal, and the fans were jacked up to rattle the Rams, make sure they couldn't get in an offensive rhythm. The place was rocking every time they had the ball. I'm surprised I had a voice the next day, because I was part of the yelling and just yelling every time they had the ball, especially on third down.
What a fall from grace for the Rams. What are they, 4-9?
They're
moly. I think they might have the worst record after a Super Bowl win of any team ever.
They're going to end up, probably because of the 17-game season, with the most losses of a previous year's Super Bowl champion.
Right. Yeah.
The way things are going, that's where they're going to end up.
And that's just crazy. Yeah, because I believe they still have, I think they have San Francisco left. I think they're the last game of the season. But anyway, as far as the Packers, I'll just say this real quickly. Green Bay is back. And what I mean by that is Aaron Rodgers' thumb, I'm pretty sure, is good now. I think it healed, at least enough. All of his passes were crisp. I don't think he had many crazy overthrows.
Flew over Lazard's head for that interception.
Yeah. Okay. Did he throw an interception on Monday?
He did. Yeah. He overshot a wide open Lazard. I mean, he was wide open, and the guy that picked off the ball was probably 8 or 10 yards behind Lazard.
Okay. I did not see it because I was doing trivia and I was watching it. I mean, it was up above me, but when I'm asking a question, it might have happened. So I actually did not know that. How crazy is that?
It was ugly, but that was the only ugly really of the whole game for the Packers.
I was able to watch the last quarter for sure, and maybe like the last 3 minutes of the third quarter, because we were all done, and I stayed there and watched it because fantasy and whatever. So real quick, let me tell you one quick story about that, and then another story about fantasy, and then if you want to get into that the reading, we can. So I'm in the playoffs. Last week, I thought 2 weeks ago, I thought, oh no, I'm not going to make the playoffs. There was one more week. I didn't realize with the extension of the season, it added a week 15 to fantasy. And I won last week, and the guy that I needed to lose lost. Now I'm fourth, and I'm playing the first place guy because the top 4 go out of 10 teams. And I'm slated to beat him, and I have a much better team. I've got the best rusher in the league, Derrick Henry. I got the best receiver in the league, Tyreek Hill. And I got one of the best quarterbacks, and I got a really good defense. Anyway, most of you out there are like, okay, we don't care.
I'm on track to win this thing.
I'm on track to win it. Okay, so here's the funniest story of all. And I don't want to laugh at this, but God almighty, was it funny. I'm sitting there watching the game with my friend Chad. He's a Packer fan. He's born in Appleton. He's a definite Packer fan. He's a trivia player. And he's got his phone out because he has Aaron Rodgers. He's down 134 to 126. So Aaron Rodgers needs eight points and change. And I was like, dude, there's 10 minutes left in the game. Don't worry. Aaron's going to get it. They're going to get the ball 2 or 3 times. And so they get the ball. He throws a couple quick hitters, one to Aaron Jones out of the backfield, another one to Christian Watson. And now it's 134 to 130. I was like, you only need 4. Well, they had to punt. They got the ball back with about 6 minutes, 5 minutes left. Aaron Rodgers, he throws a couple of. Anyway, long story short, that drive consumed the rest of the time, and they had a minute and a half left, and the Packers finally went ahead. He was not the Packers. His fantasy score 134.60 to 134.20 or something. Oh no, 134.80 to 134.40. I'm like, you got it by 0.4. You got it.
Yeah.
Well, the Christian Watson thing where he does the arm thing like this, and that's supposed to signify to Christian Watson, turn and look real quick, and you'll be in there. It's a touchdown.
And he did.
Well, that didn't materialize. So now they just took a knee. What happens when you take a knee and you're a quarterback? You lose 0.2.
Oh.
He lost 0.2, 0.2, and 0.2. So my buddy not only lost his fantasy game, he also got knocked out of the playoffs by those three things. Oh my God.
Oh.
I had to walk away
Feel sorry
because I felt so bad for him, but it was funny.
Well,
I shouldn't laugh.
the Packers got the ball in the fourth quarter with like 8 minutes and 31 seconds left, and they walked down the field, kept getting first downs, and ran out the clock on the 1 yard line.
Okay, that's what it was then. They had punted before when they had like 10 minutes left. They ended up punting, but he had gotten almost there. And I said, they'll get the ball back. Don't worry. And yeah, they ran the clock out on the 1 yard line. Well, Aaron Rodgers' 3 kneel downs lost him 0.6 points because you get like for 1 yard, for every yard, it's like 0.2.
That's hilarious stuff. Sorry, dude.
Oh, I felt so bad for him. But I will talk to him Monday night. There's a chance that there may have been adjustments. Like maybe, there was a yard we didn't account for. If that happens, well, then we're good. It could be a receiving yard or a rushing yard by Aaron Rodgers, and that would be okay.
Well,
There'd have to be an adjustment of 2 passing yards. But
I guess for his sake, I hope it comes back. Hope it comes back to help him.
Yeah.
So,
It was
anyway,
crazy.
all that to say, my experience with my dad for his birthday, the day before his birthday, twas the night before Dad's birthday, and at Packers Stadium, Lambeau Field, the Packers beat the Rams, and playoff spot. Maybe they'll yield. There we go. It's a really fun time. 77,000 of my closest friends were in the stadium, ready to cheer on the Packers,
And fellow owners,
and there was maybe 1,000 or so Rams fans there, and they got to see some decent things. It wasn't a blowout. It wasn't a completely terrible game for the Rams, but they just didn't.
I can't imagine that those Rams fans actually flew in from Los Angeles. Your team is 4-8 at the time, 4-9. I think they're 4-10 now. Why would you spend upwards of $1,000, maybe $1,500 for the entire trip? Probably more than that. Plane ticket, cost of a hotel,
Really
cost
expensive.
of the game. That's pretty expensive to see your 4-10 team play Green Bay in 13-degree weather. I'm guessing there were some transplants, probably.
Yeah. So keep it on, Packers. We'll see if they can pull off the mini miracle of actually getting into the playoffs this year. They need a little help.
Well, in the crazy NFC, anything can happen. But they have lost to the only team they beat in the NFC East was Dallas, oddly enough. They lost to Philly. Could have won that game. They lost to Washington. They got spanked. They should have beat the Giants. They should have. They were up 20-10 at the half, and they just fell apart. I don't know what happened. Aaron Rodgers' thumb got broke. That was the game. His thumb got broke.
And Joe Barry
Joe Barry. Well, okay, but if Rodgers keeps if their offense isn't generating yards, first downs, touchdowns, whatever, your defense goes back out on the field. And just by definition, the more time your defense is on the field, the more chances you have to give up points. And Brian Dable and the Giants are a pretty good team anyway, so let's not take anything away from them. But Green Bay, their whole season turned on that play where Aaron Rodgers, hit the helmet, I think is what it was, of another guy. Because they would have won that game. They're up 20-10 and looking good. Excuse me. And looking good. So I'm convinced that game right there, had they won that game, they go into the Jets game, and now they're 4-1. They're 4-1. I don't think they lose that Jets game because again, Aaron Rodgers' thumb would have been fine.
Yeah.
They lost it 27-10. I think was the final.
Problem.
Because they couldn't score points, kept giving the ball back. Defense was tired. I don't know. I just think that one play right there, and it's happened every time Aaron Rodgers goes down. The broken shoulder on the Bear game on the Monday night against Chicago. My wife and I went to that game. It was a long bus ride home.
The injury.
When he busted his shoulder. And then a couple of years ago, it was against the Vikings. That was against the Bears that night. And then in 2018, was it against the Vikings or whatever it was? Yeah.
Another bad year. Another bad year for the Packers.
Yeah,
but.
exactly.
All right.
All right.
A couple more quick shout outs really quick. Hold on, Tony, Keller Williams Realty. We hosted an open house this last Sunday, and it was cold last Sunday. It was cold. I really didn't expect much to happen there. That was bright and shiny, sunny. It was a beautiful day. It was just a cold Sunday, and I still had 8 couples and a single come through this open house. I had like 17 people visit me at this open house in Rockford, a $200,000 house for sale, and I'm like, hey. In case anyone was wondering, is thinking about selling it in the wintertime. And I wasn't kidding when I told you there are still active buyers in the wintertime that need to buy houses. It's not a bad time to sell your house. The buyers are still out there, and the buyers that are out there are much more serious than the looky-loo types that are out there in the spring and summer, just kind of, maybe I'll buy, maybe I won't. So sellers, it's still a good time to sell. So call us at Hold on, Tony, 815-315-1110. We would love to help you with your real estate needs here in Rockford or anywhere in the state line or anywhere in the country. We've got connections all across the country. A couple other quick shout outs this week to Nunzio's Pizza. I haven't had Nunzio's Pizza in a long time up in Lowe's Park. And we had that this week during cookie making night at the mother-in-law's house. Our Wednesday night dinner this week was not typical. It was cookie decorating night. She had all these cookies that she made, these sugar cookies, and the kids are all adult kids now, except for one grandkid that was there. But they were all decorating cookies and eating pizza and having just a wonderful time with some Nunzio's Pizza.
So you said decorating cookie night.
Yes.
I thought you said drinking and cookie night. Wow.
No, not
the grandkids. Come on over here, little Billy. Try this wine. No, that's not going to work.
We had a little mini family gathering here with some John's Restaurant grub. They do an awesome Friday night fish and other stuff at John's Restaurant on 11th Street, and played some Jackbox and had us a swell old time last night. So ho, ho, ho to you too there, Carlos Danger. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of the show. Here, we'll post that up there because it's funny. Carlos Danger says, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
Probably in an evil voice, right?
Ho, ho, ho.
All right, so let's see if we have appropriate music. I want some Christmas music. That's kind of starry nightish, right?
A little bit.
All right.
Come on down to Big Bob's Furniture Outlet for your Christmas shopping needs. We got everything you need.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, what happened? All right, let's take care of that. Let's go and find. We want ornaments. No, that's not going to work. It's snow.
Elf on the shelf is now my elf on my shoulder. That's not going to work.
All right, we'll go with the snowmen.
It's not going to work. Yeah, there we are. Still not going to work. He's out of here.
Clement Clark Moore, born July 15th, 1779 in New York City. Moore was the author of a book called Poems. Go figure. Published in 1844 by Bartlett and Welford. It included a poem called A Visit from St. Nicholas, more popularly known as The Night Before Christmas. However, this iconic children's poem was actually first published anonymously in the Troy Sentinel in 1823. That's right. Next year will be the 200th anniversary of A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore. He taught at the General Theological Seminary in New York City from 1821 to 1850 and died 5 days before his birthday in 1863 in Newport, Rhode Island. So, ladies and gentlemen, Tom and I give to you our annual tradition, a visit from St. Nicholas from Clement Clark Moore. Tom?
All right, here we go. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled, visions of sugar plums danced in their heads.
And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window, I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash.
The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below.
When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick.
More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, Dodger and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky.
So up to the housetop, the coursers they flew with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too.
And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath.
He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself.
A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk.
And laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose.
He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle.
But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight,
Happy Christmas to all, and to all
a
a good night. Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas.
Let's get out of here. I'm hungry. Let's go to the IHOP. Hi, Joann. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Woodstock says hi. And then just for good measure, Snoopy joins in.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Gotta love that music.
I do. Little Vince Guaraldi.
I'm sure YouTube will cut it off for us.
It's called Lucy and Linus. That's the actual name of the song.
Linus.
That's the name.
Well,
What's that?
Linus. Let's see. Was it Schroeder or Linus that jammed on the piano? It was Schroeder.
Yeah, Schroeder. Schroeder jammed on the piano. Linus was Lucy's younger brother.
Ah.
The one she always picked on. Well, that and Charlie Brown. She picked on everybody.
She did. She did. Well, before we get to all things PAWS here in a minute, let's take a look at what's happening around the area with some SMS info, unofficially brought to you by TWAS, the app that enables volunteers to track, verify, and maintain their own community service data for a lifetime. Check out altruize, tell a better story, live a better life. 2.6 billion people, Tom and Joann, 2.6 billion people live without something that we have had our entire lives. Think about that for a minute, and I'll tell you what it is at the end of our info. That's not our big number of the week, by the way. So, Festival of Lights had to close earlier this week for a night because of the crazy cold weather, and they didn't want their volunteers outside. Understandable.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Not only that, what happens if a car breaks down in the middle of it? What a cluster that would be. What an absolute mess.
They were open last night, and they are open today. Today and tomorrow, all 24 hours. The Festival of Lights is open at Mississippi Park. You can drive on through. Obviously, during the day, you're not going to have your lights on. But just remember, when it's dark out, once you go through the tunnel of lights, you're supposed to turn your headlights off and just drive slowly through the displays.
Now, what do you do if you have a car where you can't turn to? We used to have a Montana, and I think this was a flaw in the engineering. You could not turn your lights off. You could not. You'd have to turn them off completely. But then you got no parking, parking lights or anything. But as long as I take that back. Even turning them off, as long as your car is running and driving, lights are on.
Daytime running lights on some cars do not shut off at all.
Right, but these are the actual headlights. Once it got dark enough, the lights went on. You could not shut them off. That is a flaw in the engineering. But anyway, so we never went through the Festival of Lights with that car. We'd use our other one or whatever.
Don't get too angry at people if they have headlights on. They might have daytime running lights that they can't shut off. But the idea is to shut them off and go through the lighting displays and experience them in all their glory, which is as dark as possible.
What you could do is you could get some cardboard and just for the time, just tape it on there. I think we might have done that one year. Just tape it on there or maybe put it on there with magnets or something.
That'd be the friendly thing to do.
Yeah.
The all aglow light display at Nicholas Conservatory and Gardens continues. Nicholas Conservatory itself, the indoor portion, will be closed this weekend. However, Monday through Friday, they are open, and 10 to 4, I believe, most days this next week. Lights on from dusk to dawn. The park itself closes at 10 p.m., but the outdoors lights, free admission, awesome photo ops all throughout Nicholas Conservatory and Gardens right there on the Rock River. It is still one of those beautiful things and will be active and lit up through January 8th. The illuminated lighted garden experience at Anderson Japanese Gardens, that is on through December 30th. So there is a fee to go in if you're not a premium garden member. There is a fee of $11 for adults, $10 for seniors, $9 for students. And they will not be there today or tomorrow, but they are open Monday through Friday this next week, 5 to 8 p.m. And I'm hearing a lot of wonderful things about Anderson Gardens' lighted garden experience. And it's also close too, right there by Nicholas Conservatory. It's a short drive between the two, so you can see the lights at Mississippi, the lights at Nicholas, and the lights at Anderson all in one night if you really planned it out right. And then Winter Wonderland at Discovery Center Museum, that is open this following week, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 3. Enjoy winter activities without the cold. They've got this indoor sock skating rink at Discovery Center Museum that you can skate around in your socks. No ice, no shoes, slip sliding fun with friends on a high-tech synthetic polymer surface. Holiday crafts and other activities between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. this coming Monday through Saturday at Discovery Center Museum.
Well, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
We went through, but going back to what you said a second ago, we went through the lights, the arboretum, not the arboretum, conservatory, Nicholas Conservatory. We went through the lights. We did the walk through and walk back. Oh my God, was it cold? And you know me, always underdressed. I actually did wear pants. I I didn't have my shorts on, so I wore pants and I had gloves on, but those gloves did not keep my fingers warm. It was not fun. It was fun going through, but coming back, oh, absolutely beautiful.
So beautiful. Dress appropriately. It's what Tom is saying is dress appropriately.
Yeah.
You definitely want to do that. If you've ever encountered one of those phantom traffic jams that didn't seem to make much sense, traffic slowdowns that didn't seem to have much of an apparent cause, it was probably because of tailgating. Tailgating, researchers at MIT found that not only does tailgating not get you anywhere faster, it actually creates traffic jams that should not exist. Basically, when you tailgate, you remove your ability to slow down gradually in the event a car up ahead of you has to slow down. Because you have less time to react, less time to avoid rear-ending the car in front of you, you hit the brakes hard, you take away from all your vehicle's momentum in an instant, and then all the cars behind you have to slow down quickly. It's a pain in the butt. So don't tailgate people. It just causes a train reaction, eventually brings traffic to a crawl for no good reason. And of course, you see that every time you jump on the interstate.
Tailgaters drive me nuts.
Such a hurry. I'm in such a hurry to get somewhere, and it doesn't help to tailgate. So don't do it.
Right.
The women of America have spoken. Tom and Joann, the women of America have spoken. You know what they've said? They love a man who wears glasses.
Oh, cool.
87% of women think men in glasses are sexy.
Nice.
That's why my eyes are going bad. I need the extra help. As you would expect, the survey is sponsored by an online eyewear retailer, but still, I thought that felt good to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, online retailer. I appreciate that survey. Christmas trees are up and running many houses around America. They're grown and harvested in all 50 states. In the United States, there are more than 15,000 Christmas tree farms. 15,000 of them. 350,000 acres of land in the U.S. are in production for growing Christmas trees, and Americans buy anywhere between 30 and 35 million real Christmas trees every year. It's probably been 8 or 9 years since I bought a real Christmas tree home. Is yours a fake one or a real one, Tom? I can't tell from
the one right there. That is a fake one. Okay, so here's a really interesting story. When we bought the house 21 years ago now, it'll be 21 years this February. So in a couple of month and a half. It came with a Christmas tree. They had left it in the garage, and it was a what was it? A Mountain King? Whatever it was the Mountain King, something like that. It was a big, gigantic, beautiful Christmas tree. We used it for the last 21 years. This one here came from my daughter's bank. Her bank branch, that branch closed, so they were getting rid of a bunch of stuff. We got rid of our tree this past March or April just because we'd used it for so long and it was falling apart, bent and all that. So she's like, well, I just want to get a new tree this year. Okay, no problem. So we ended up with this one here. It came from the bank that closed, and so we still have our artificial tree. But I have this one for the next 21 or 22 years. So 22 years. That's right.
You take care of stuff, it lasts a good long time. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Sure. Boy, throw it up in the attic when we're done with it. So it's not like it's going to get trampled over or moved or, whatever.
My mother-in-law just got a different tree here. Was it last year or this year? It's a different tree than she's had in the past. The old tree was, falling apart and stuff. And this one, instead of having to put each individual branch back on, it just folds up. It's so nice. It's just,
I've seen those.
You just fold it up, box it up, done. It's like
you put it there, and the one I saw in a commercial is you like hit a button or something, and it just boom right up like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's go. All right.
No, Carlos. She worked for Associated. The Rockton branch is the one that closed. Carlos Danger. Good to hear from you, Carlos Danger.
Reminding us too, it's going to be really nice at the end of this next week. By Friday, in the 40s or maybe even 50 degrees.
Yeah,
50 degrees on Friday.
So next Saturday morning, I'll have a cold again.
Well, the sicknesses will be back out and about. Okay, randoms for this week. A study found stubbornness and optimism are keys to longer life. So if you want to live long, be stubborn and optimistic. I got one of those down. I'm pretty optimistic. I'm not sure I'm very stubborn, though.
You don't think you're very stubborn? I would agree with that. I don't think you are either. But a buddy of mine, in fact, Dan from Tulsa, I don't see him on here yet, he came up with something a number of years ago. He said, I'm not stubborn, I'm steadfast. And I thought about that. And he's right. If I tell you that 2 + 2 is 5, and you say, no, absolutely, it's not, it's 4. Well, is that you being stubborn, not, or is that you being steadfast? You know that it's not 5, it's 4. So that was the difference there.
Okay.
Anyway, the way he explained it, and I've used it in other examples before, I like to use the word steadfast rather than stubborn because stubborn can be such a negative word. And I think sometimes people are just, they believe what they believe for a reason. And you got to dig deeper. You got to find out, well, what is your reason? Maybe you know something that I don't know.
Well, this study finds a good spin on being stubborn, and that is it helps you live longer. So stubbornness and optimism. Did you know
they sound like oxymorons, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, they just sound like the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of not morons.
Yeah, exactly. It's like good grief.
Smaller than colossal. I didn't know this before this week. If I was to be asked what's bigger, gigantic or colossal, I would have to think about that a good long time. Well, apparently, according to definitions, gigantic is smaller than colossal.
I can see that. I think I would have said that maybe, but they're just words. I mean, you can be anything you want. You could use it as like that was a colossal mistake, that turned into a gigantic disaster. So you could use it either way.
Speaking of gigantic or colossal, tell me what you think of this. I will give you one hint. It's a half a pound, and there you go. The Big Floop.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's a pound Fruit Loop that retails for $19.99. It's 930 calories. Not that anyone would actually eat one. Playful art piece, a giant 130 calorie, $19.99 Fruit Loop. I'm going to go with gigantic. I'm not going to go with colossal.
Oh, exactly. It's not colossal. Yeah. Colossal is a building, a spaceship, the Pentagon. That's colossal.
All right. And then we have, I think I can share this and not get in too much trouble. There's a lot of year-end lists, and a lot of the year-end lists are just not worth anything, right? They're just goofy, stupid stuff. This one is pretty cool. It is the 2022 Comedy Wildlife Awards. And I think we can share this and not get chopped off. I hope that they won't chop this off. But check out some of this fun. You've got a 3-month-old cub tumbling out of a tree.
Oh.
You've got a photo of a salmon appearing to punch a bear in the face. Or maybe been thrown at him so hard it stuck into his brain. I don't know. It looks
Pick on
hilarious.
somebody your own size, buddy.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Well, I can make this bigger. All right, let's do that.
Yeah, because
So
that's...
Then it's all about the angles, friends. A hippo yawning next to a heron. He's not trying to eat it. He's actually quite a bit in front of it. But it looks like he's about to eat this bird.
Wow. That is lunch. Yeah.
Ugh. A couple of triggerfish looking into the camera. This won a Creatures Under the Sea award in 2022. A couple of penguins on the Falkland Island. Of course, speak to the fin. Or the, what do you call it? What do they call penguins?
Flipper?
They're not flippers. Yeah, speak to the flipper. We've got an owlet in a pipe in India, winking at us. Now this looks hilarious. A couple of wallabies playing on the beach in Australia's Cape Hillsborough. Looks like a ninja class or something going on. Hi-ya! Gotcha. And a raccoon.
It's a raccoon? I guess it is.
Thank you for the
It's a
shrimp.
Yeah, it's a fluffy raccoon.
A couple of monkeys near a Cambodian temple. It's like, wake up. Are you dead? What's going on? Is he just tickling him? I don't know.
Huh?
And probably the coolest picture of them all. An Indian saurus crane attacking a blue bull from behind, and it makes it look like the bull's got wings.
It looks like a Pegasus.
Yeah, because his head is turned, so it looks like he's got one horn like a unicorn.
Yeah, right.
He has two. I don't know. That was like probably the coolest picture of them all. So
That is
those
really
are
cool.
all. I will, let's see, can I do this without, I can copy that and throw that into the chat in case you want to see all of those awesome photos. It's a long link, but it might be worth it. Thanks. To
No, that's
NPR.
cool. Hey, I have a suggestion for next week. We should, Joann, you should come on early, and we should do our top 10 stories of the year. You know, nothing too grand, but like because next year is New Year's Eve.
If you want to do a top 3 or 5, you don't necessarily have to do all 10. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
According to census data, there's about 100 women with the name Merry Christmas. First name Mary, last name Christmas. There's about 100 of those women. Imagine the fun they have at this time of year.
Well, do you remember the Dumb and Dumber? Jim Carrey's character's name was Lloyd Christmas, and the girl who actually was what was her name? Holly? No. Well, anyway, that actually was his wife at the time. The girl he was taking to Aspen or to the airport, whatever. Her name was Mary, and I think that was kind of the thought. If they got married, she'd be Merry Christmas.
You really want to marry a guy named Christmas if your name is Mary?
He
I
probably
don't think
not.
I've ever met anyone with the last name Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of it, but
And musician Evan Greer's EP called Automated Christmas Joy features holiday songs with lyrics written by Chat GPT. Have you heard about Chat GPT? It's been in the news
I have not.
for at least a week now or two. Chat GPT is an AI program. It's a intelligence. What do you call it? Why am I'm drawing a blank. I'm always drawing a blank when I talk about AI. Artificial intelligence. There we go. It's artificial.
Oh, okay.
intelligence.
Yeah.
So it's in the news because apparently some school kids have been using it to write papers. When they're supposed to write a paper about a subject, they can type in this subject to one of these Chat GPT programs, and it writes it for them. And then you just go through and kind of edit a few things here and there to make it your own.
Misspell a few words and forget some punctuation.
I don't know. But this guy had some songs.
I mean,
written.
to make it look good so that the teacher doesn't catch on.
Yeah. This guy wrote some Christmas songs, and then he kind of changed them a little bit to make them work. But I featured one of them on the website this week, and it is on my website. The question is, can I play it? Here it goes.
Is it Silent Night?
Everything's lost.
There we go. Now I can hear. Well, the answer to that question, Greg, is no.
Ooh, there we go. Maybe we're back now. At least it says I'm back now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So it's Christmas. This holiday's a hit. I thought that was hilarious, so I made a little video to share with clients and friends on the business page. Check out.
I don't know about you, Joann, but I got nothing here. I couldn't hear anything. I could see it, but
I saw Greg doing something.
Oh, you weren't able to hear it?
No, we didn't hear anything. That's why I thought it was Silent Night.
Oh no. Well, it wasn't.
We'll look it up later.
You look. Go to the page. Go to the page. It's there. Let me double check and make sure it's on the Saturday morning page. I know I shared it on my Greg Saunders Realtor page, so that might be where you need to go see it. Let's make sure I share the link because this is fun and this is a fun one. He's got a couple other songs I wouldn't necessarily want to share that, but this one was hilarious, and I enjoyed lip syncing to it badly, which is what it was. I know I lip synced badly. That's part of the charm of it is lip syncing to it badly. Okay. Copy.
Well, Vanilli called. They need somebody. They need a fresh face in their band. So
I could win an award for that. That's right. All right, and then finally, Christmas 110 years ago. 110 years ago, the 1912 was a little bit different than it was today. President Teddy Roosevelt, he actually banned Christmas trees in the White House because he was such a conservationist. He did not want trees to be cut down to be put up inside. So he said, no Christmas trees in the White House. The average life expectancy for men in the year 1912, 47 years old.
Wow.
40.
Wow. Unless you're on the Titanic, then it was 28.
Ooh. 14% of homes had a
Too
bathtub.
soon?
That's it. In the year 1912, there were 8,000 cars and only 144 miles of paved roads. And the average U.S. worker made somewhere between $200 and $400 every single year. Yeah. Maybe if you were making $1 a day back in 1912, you were doing pretty good.
Wow.
That's the truth. All right. All that to say before we get there's something that we have had our entire lives that 2.6 billion people around the world do not have, guys. Any idea what that might be?
Running water.
Close. Any guess, Joann?
See, I was going to say television.
Starts with a T, and it has to do with
Toilets.
water. Yes,
Toilets.
toilet. 2.6 billion people in our world live without a toilet in their house, and there's about 8 billion people in the world. So that's about what? More than a fourth of all people.
Yeah, that's 25% of the world.
That's kind of
wow. That is crazy.
Cool. Anyway, there you go. That's not our big number of the week. We're going to share that coming up. But Furball is coming up on February 18th. I don't think you can order tickets for it yet, but it won't be long. Saturday, February 18th. Mark your calendar now.
I think there was a link out on the Facebook page, but I'm not sure.
You think there was a link for tickets?
For tickets, yes. Because I saw it and I didn't copy it, but talking about what your food choices were and stuff.
Yes, you're correct. To purchase tickets, please visit this link. Let's put this in the chat. We're putting so much stuff in the chat today. PAWS tickets. All right. So we'll share this on our page too. Yeah, Furball tickets are now available. Share to the page, please. Saturday morning. So Saturday, February 18th. Be there. Should be so much fun. The band Minimal will be back again. They do such a great job. Always love hearing Minimal. And this year we're at the Tabala Event Center.
So it's a different venue.
A little more space, bigger. It's a bigger room. 50-50 raffle, silent auction, wine pull, live music, and of course a wonderful dinner and dancing, all at the event center. 5:30 till it's done. Probably 8:30, 9 o'clock, unless you want to dance longer. Always a fun time.
Dance the night away.
Dance the night away.
So no Radisson this year, huh?
No, there was no room for expansion.
True. We've maxed out the space at the Radisson. We're maxed out. So
Yeah.
all right.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think
Are we ready to
that
check out
was
things?
basically the only reason. It was too crowded, and we're hoping to expand. I don't know who's catering the meal. It sounded good though.
Awesome. All right. Well, what do you say? Take a look around PAWS today. Do you want to take a quickie tour?
Yeah, Greg, thank you for making me come this morning. I got to see some moon dogs.
Some moon dogs.
Yes. You know what they're called? Sun dogs.
Sun dogs. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't wait to see what you're.
You need to look at my Facebook page. I took a picture.
Oh, the way the sun's coming up this morning.
Yes.
It's because of the
This cold.
because of the cold and the frost and the way the sun.
I got the full rainbow.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So mostly cats today. We could be. I mean, this is foolish. I don't know why I can't say the name. Felicia.
It's usually Felicia.
I guess it's like I never named my daughter that because I would have to learn it. This is parsley. Parsley and cinnamon. That doesn't go together. It's quiet here today. I'm sure we'll be open this afternoon for our last hurrah.
Last round of adoptions before Christmas Day.
Yes.
And don't feel like you have to adopt today just because it's a Christmas present. Adopt for the new year. Adopt for this coming week and start the new year off with
This furry baby.
Is it just the camera, or is it a really big cat?
It's well, he's furry.
He sure is.
Yeah. Oh, look at him. Yeah. Wow. Ah, look at those fangs. Wow.
And he's got a brother. Tula, I guess not brother. There's two girls. Tula and Kakia. I don't know. That sounds like a funny name. Kakia.
Kakai.
Yeah.
And that one, what is it? When they are finding a bargain at Maggie.
Wake up, Maggie.
I've had
I
some
think I got something to say to you.
It's at the 70s. Now we'll be singing that all day. These are some little ones. Rue and Kanga, maybe. Pooh and Rue. They're itty bitty, though.
Oh.
There was something on the Facebook page about the two orange guys, but I only see one today, that they've been some of the older ones at the shelter, the longest at the shelter. Oh, he's kind of hidden. You can just see his ears in the back. But there are two orange boys that have been at the shelter a long time. They're kind of shy. The little one was going to get his tail. So I didn't do the list for December. Doesn't look like that much more. Whoop. Let me mirror it. I've got a shadow on there. I'm sorry. And there's our list for December. Doing good with cats. 5 dogs.
Pretty good month there at PAWS. Pretty good month.
So, check out our Facebook page. They've always got pictures of recent adoptions and also some of the cats. If you're looking for the cats, they're featured on the page. So, take a look.
All right. Bring us back here. There we go. Bring us back here. Thank you, Joann. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. All right. Let's wrap things up with our big number of the week, the first round after our last round, which was a finish of Joann 10, Tom 8, the most dramatic comeback in NFL history. I mean, in big number of the week history.
Yeah.
The same week of the biggest comeback in NFL history. It's just coincidence? I don't know. Something was wacky in the force last week because some crazy stuff happened last week.
There were like 4 games. 3 games that had firsts that had never happened before. It was just crazy. It was weird.
Absolutely nuts. All right, let's I need the graphic first because I made it, so we got to use it, right? Video clip.
Number of the week. Come on.
Scary big number of the week. All right, our big number of the week this week is 36,000, and the answer is movies or metal detectors. Movies or metal detectors. And we need an answer from you to start off our new race to 10. It's a brand new race to 10. So give me your guess, please. 3, 2, 1, go.
Movies.
You both go for movies. All right. Well, let's reset our score now based on your answers. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I gotta get this. I want to get this right because this is what it's like to not do this show without a producer. That's
Yeah. If we were back at the radio station. Yeah.
Y'all on Tom. So there was a passenger heading to Kenya, and he tried to save his checked baggage fee by making his way through security while wearing every article of clothing he brought along for the trip. All told, the security agents counted about 70 pieces of clothing, including as many as 60 shirts and 9 pairs of jeans. Imagine wearing 9 pairs of pants at the same time.
I don't know how you could even do that.
I know.
And why would you need 60 sheets? How long was he going there for? I mean, shirts.
Crazy. The man aroused suspicion before entering the checkpoint due to his appearance, but what ultimately foiled his foolproof scheme were the batteries, flash drives, and miscellaneous toys in his pockets. That triggered the metal detector and prompted a full body search. And they said, no, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. You got to pack this stuff in a suitcase. Nah, so that's not the answer. The answer is movies. There are 36,000 still Redbox kiosks across America. Can you remember the last time you rented a movie from a Redbox?
No. 2 years.
It's been a long time. We don't even have a DVD player hooked up anymore to the TV to watch it. So Redbox is still doing business, and there are 36,000 Redbox kiosks still across America. So there you go. Tom and Joann tied at 1 as we begin a brand new race to 10. And here we come, 2023. Here we come, New Year. We're coming for you. All right. Any final thoughts before we let you all go, guys?
Go Packers. Go Tom's fantasy football team. Okay, one thing I got to tell you. This is not funny, but it is funny. Funny like the fantasy football story I told you earlier, where you don't really want to laugh, but it's kind of like my daughter and her husband and their 3 children, they went to New York. They're supposed to come back. They did a train trip. They're supposed to come back starting Thursday, get back here by Friday. Their train was canceled due to the weather. So we're talking to her last night. Train got canceled again. So now they're renting a car, and they're leaving probably right about now, and they should be back tomorrow at about 2 or 3 on Christmas Day. I felt kind of bad for them.
Well, hopefully they experience the kind of weather we're having like right now. It's cold, but it's not snowy. And they can hopefully drive all the way back and make it safely.
I don't know if I'm okay with the trade-off. I don't want 0 degrees. I just don't. I don't operate well in 0 degrees. I would give me 12 inches of snow and 30 degrees. I'll be happy. I'll be okay.
All right, guys. Well, have a very Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Enjoy family and time with family and friends. And we are planning on having a show on New Year's Eve, 1 week from today, from another different location. So, hey, tune in and find out.
Oh, that's right.
But you guys be ready to go. All right.
I'm going to be in a different location too. I'm going to do the show from my kitchen.
Good.
And I'm going to be boring at the shelter again.
Yeah.
And we are booking guests for 2023. I already have one lined up for January. I'm excited to talk to, and we'll be seeing who else we can get us to join us on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. as we come back every week. This was show number 141, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Number 141. I'm
working on getting Tom Cruise like somewhere in March or April. We're in the works. We're in talks. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. I'm indifferent to that. Remember, friends, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. Meet you back here next week for another Saturday morning Stateline show. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Take care. Bye-bye. A little bonus show today on this Christmas Eve. YouVersion, if you are looking for a great app to do a daily devotional, highly recommend using the YouVersion app, because every day they have something to share with you to inspire you toward better living. And of course, today being Christmas Eve, it's the miracle of Jesus. There is no doubt you've heard someone say the words, "It's a Christmas miracle." They're often associated with a loved one whose flight was delayed, making it home at a time that nobody expected, or when a sold-out toy suddenly appears on the shelf in front of you at the exact moment you had given up hope. These are beautiful occasions, and they're worthy of celebration, but they don't come anywhere close to the original Christmas miracle. On a bright star-filled night, with nearby sounds of restless oxen and a fatigued donkey, a young virgin mother bore a child. Little did the world know this moment in time would change the course of history forever. You see, long before water was turned into wine and blind men were given sight, a miracle of far greater measure occurred. Jesus was born. The verse says, "Behold, the virgins shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel," which means God with us. When Joseph woke from sleep, He did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took his wife, but knew her not until she had given birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus. The implications of a child being born of a virgin are huge, not to mention the man Jesus grew up to be, and all of his significant demonstrations of selflessness and compassion, who he grew up to be. Amazing. God chose Mary to mother the soon-to-be Savior of the world. If there was ever a Christmas miracle, this is surely it. Think back to the first time you heard about the miracle of Jesus. Was the emphasis placed on the manger in which he was born? Or maybe the possible emotional roller coaster that Joseph was on? Often when the story is told, people focus on details that really hold little importance in comparison to the main event. The Son of God was sent to the earth and born of a woman who had never intimately known a man. This event alone changed everything the world thought it knew. How has this miracle changed your life? Miraculous Jesus. Jesus, thank you for your life on earth, for the time you spent teaching us, loving us, and suffering on our behalf. I'm grateful you made a way for us to have an eternal relationship with you. You are my everything. I'm happy to be yours. Amen. YouVersion. Highly recommend checking it out. Merry Christmas.